How are you handling this build so far?
I will be so glad when it's over. It's just it keeps going and going, and every time it's my own fault as well because I totally was too optimistic with thinking about how things would go, and then as going along, I was like, you know what, it'll look a lot better if I do it this way instead of the other way. And in end of the day, it does produce a huge, big, long video. But I really wish that I'd set my Patreon to being monthly instead of per video, because then it wouldn't matter too much if a project totally ran on. But the reason I have it set to the per video is then it's supposed to light a fire under me and make me actually work faster. But in practice, that doesn't really work.
Because it's what, been 3 months?
At least 3 months. At least 3 months. This happened to me before. The Sunkeeper was the same thing, of the same nightmare, never-ending sort. And that one was quite. That's actually. Did that video even turn out very long? I can't remember. I remember it had a lot of. You could tell there was a lot of bits in the video. Like, it was very obvious that it was a complicated build, because that would be the tragic thing, is if it was a not if it was a video that took forever to build and you couldn't really tell.
The
Oh, it was
time
only
it
an hour
took,
and a
yeah.
half.
Yeah, no, the Sunkeeper build video was only an hour and a half. This one's going to be longer than that. I was saying this before on the stream, but I might as, like, for the sake of doing a practice thingy, if the rectangle was a relatively simple build, the folder for that had 190 clips in it. The axe folder of all the raw clips as I collect as I go along is over 650 clips now. So,
Yeah, what did I get up to with He-Man's sword? So much stuff that 250 gig I got up to on that.
this is actually a thing. Do I have the correct? Hang on, I don't have correct drive plugged in, but I might as well plug it in while we're doing this and see. Is because I remember talking to someone else. I think it was Kyle over at KO Creations. He was shocked at how small my things were because I've gotten to such a rhythm that, like, I'll just record a tiny little bit of me. Like, I'll have loads of 20-second clips of me starting to grind something, and then I'll knock the camera off and then tune in. I'll have it plugged in. How many gigs?
That's where I haven't gotten up to yet, is knowing when to hit record.
Yeah, okay, so I just for comparison, so 671 clips in the Gotrek folder, and it's only 300 gigs.
Wow.
You know?
Okay.
Well, that was Kyle's reaction too. He was like, "How?"
Well, you've been doing it for how many bloody years now, so...
Yeah, so, like, I never record myself, and sometimes I regret it. Like, sometimes a thing will break, or a thing will explode, or I'll lose grip of something, and it's not on camera because I don't film myself doing the whole thing. You know?
That's what I don't want to miss out on, is something stupid happening that you just go, damn it.
Yeah, so I sometimes I miss out on stupid stuff, but I'm willing to miss out on the stupid stuff if it means I don't have to scroll through a 20-minute clip or whatever.
I'm going to do Sword of Omens next.
Oh, nice. That one is that was one of the I did that very early on, and I found it tricky because of the way I did it, which was dumb because I had a MIG welder. Like the two little, I don't know if you go back and look at my, like, there's a folder on Facebook of my pictures from it, but the two little wing thingies, I made it by making little frames of those, like, little shapes on the wings, and then welding the frames on, all with a MIG welder. I didn't have a TIG, and it was a nightmare. And but, like, it worked, but it was so dumb. It's like, if I was doing it nowadays and I didn't have a TIG welder, I would have just etched. You know, like it's the little wing guards and they have the internal shape. Yeah, just etch them in.
Solid metal, and then I'm just going to etch out
Yeah.
whatever needs to be etched out. But the handle is the thing I'm going to struggle with. So
I didn't do the handle properly the time I made it because I physically, if there was a stupid labor intensive way to have done it, I would have done it that way. But I physically didn't have the technology to make it has all these like things going up at these ribs.
So I've started 3D printing.
Yeah, those little things, those little bastards.
Yeah, that handle, that took about 15 hours to print. And then I'm going to cast that.
You there? It's frozen up on my end. I don't know is the camera still rolling, but I can still see you and stuff. Or rather,
Did it freeze?
oh, is it catching
What
up with
network's
itself?
that then? Mine
Thought I heard
or...
a click noise.
It's frozen
Oh,
up
wait.
on my end.
Oh, it's your end.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Is it catching
It's
caught
going
up with
nuts.
itself?
Is
now?
it catching caught up with itself?
No.
Oh wow, I can see there's crazy lag now on my picture where there wasn't before. That's unfortunate. But anyway, those little rib things on the Sword of Omens, I think I just hammered them in before. Like they weren't even ribs; they were just like lines on the thing. But yeah, it's going to be a pain in the butt.
That I mean, it's going to be cast out of, I think, bronze. I'm going to do it in.
Oh, if you're doing it as a casting, then yeah, I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah, I mean that's and it's all segmented, so it all screws together.
That's awesome.
But that's, I think, with my channel, what I'm going to do is just a bit of everything.
Well, yeah, no, that's cool. Like especially casting the parts. Like I would be interested in what because there's a lot of channels where it's like, oh, this thing's cool, but the utility of me watching it is kind of low. But like, if you cast those parts, you're a great canary in the coal mine for me because I've wanted to cast parts for ages. So if you cast them, and I'm waiting with bated breath to see how it goes because I would also like to try it at some point.
Yeah, I'm going to have to buy a furnace, crucible, all that stuff, because doing it with my crappy knife forge, it won't work. I've seen some tutorials and stuff like that just basically if you do it without the proper equipment, like you buy a crucible and stick it into the forge.
Yeah,
the forge,
what I would.
The forge will just eat the crucible. There'll be nothing left.
Just melts down.
Yes.
Okay. See. Okay. That because, like I said, I haven't tried it, but I have a crucible, like a little tiny one that a kid left here, and I was like, oh, I could, because I was willing to experiment. So what the thing for heating up the crucible that you're supposed to use, it's just not a direct flame. Is that it? It's just like a big element, like a kiln or something.
Like
God damn it, the thing is frozen.
The forge that you have when it's standing upright.
Oh yeah.
This is what I was afraid of.
Last thing.
Both of us are doing screen records and also a video call while trying to talk to the other side of the planet.
I'm still amazed by it. I don't know.
No, but what were you saying? The last thing I asked, I don't know what you caught, was like, is it not a naked flame? Is that what makes the, like, what's the difference between the shape?
Where the inlet is, where the flame goes in, has to be at an angle. Has to be your crucible sits there, and the flame actually goes around the outside, so it swirls around the outside of the crucible.
Oh,
if you have a direct flame against it, the oxidizing flame actually burns all the carbon. So you'll burn a hole in the side of the crucible.
Wait. A direct... Wait, so you have it hitting the side, so the crucible has to be higher than the level of the flame?
No, the flame has to be set off to the side.
But what's the difference? Okay, yeah, I'm just thinking that like my crappy thing that I made is designed such that I could just turn it on its side because it originally was a whatchamacallit. It originally was the other type. It's like, yeah, and I could turn it sideways and give it a go, maybe. See how it goes.
From all that I've seen, that if you hit your crucible with a flame directly, it'll just burn a hole straight through the side of it. So you have to essentially diffuse the flame around the outside of the crucible.
But how's that different to hitting it with a frame directly? I feel like I'm really feeling that it's 1:41 a.m. and my brain isn't working.
Yeah, no, this is why I wanted a fresh mic, not a used one, highly used one. No,
But
look, this is just for a test.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. We can edit. You can edit, even use clips from this maybe, and then edit, chop up something. Because like the start of this might be better than the start of the redo one in terms of like explaining what we're doing or whatever.
No, I just wanted to see if everything would work properly.
Yeah, the only thing that seems to be failing so far is the internet being a little bit.
This is the problem I have with emails. Is when I said to you in the email that we after your live stream was for doing the shit show.
Yeah.
Not this thing. I was trying to say to you, you know, I can after your live stream, I can be available to do the shit show.
No, and that would work actually, because that time will work because it's I'm already standing in front of a computer. I think we've done that before. When like we normally try to record at the weekend, but if it doesn't work, we sometimes wind up recording on a Monday, so that'll work.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still easy. I've not got any projects on sort of omens I'm not going to do over Christmas, so and I'm still waiting for shit to fucking arrive. So it's
that oxy-propane converter. I uploaded a video to the Patreon, about how I converted the oxy-propane. Oh, my gas crisis has been solved. There's finally a place on the island. It's not even open yet. On Tuesday, it's going to be open, and we can go there. And I'm still waiting to figure out that, like, oh, there's a horrible problem, but supposedly it's solved for the moment. I won't find out till Tuesday that it's not actually solved. But the converter, when there was no acetylene, the oxy-propane converter I ordered, I made the thing out of janky parts, but the converter finally arrived, and I was like, oh good, I can take apart the thing I made out of janky parts and have this one simple thing instead of a bunch of stuff in series. And it didn't fit. The propane side of it fit, but the side that's supposed to go into my acetylene rig is a completely different thread size. And I was even worried about this, so I looked at the reviews and none of them mentioned this. So I was so annoyed that I cut a bit of the threaded pipe I used for my janky version off, and I silicon bronze brazed it onto the thing I ordered. Bloop, because that thing took 2 or 3 weeks to show up. So even if I was like, give me my money back, I would start a 4 to 6 week adventure. And so I welded up the janky part.
I know what that's like. What that's like. Whose cat's that?
That's my cat. But he's, from the picture, it looks like he's right outside the door wanting to get in. But then when you step towards the door, he's just kind of sitting there.
He comes close to the door.
He looks skinny now because we got 2 kittens, and he's like more of an outdoor cat. The kittens, by the way, are not kittens anymore. But like he was like, I hate them. He used to be like a huge, ginormous monster truck cat that used to just sit around doing nothing. And then we got the dog, and he started moving around more, like sleeping on top of things instead of just on the floor. And then we got the 2 other kittens, and he was like, I guess it's time for me to become... And he's an outdoor cat. No, okay, now he's standing in the correct place. Do you want in or no? I'm not going to keep this open very long.
The counting thing works.
Come on. You go. Oh my god, come on. Normally I'd just leave it open and go back to answering my emails, but I was conscious of, like, I don't want to subject you to 5 minutes. Oh, there's a cat.
One of mine's sitting down there. She's the nice one, and then her daughter is off camera somewhere. She's the streets whore. She loves sitting out the front of the house and getting strangers to pat her. Yeah, all right. Look, get back to your emails, and